Hey guys, it's Zen. How are you? I'm coming in on Thursday night and just wanted to share a thought or two with you tonight. And I hope you all are doing well. I want to say thank you to all of my new and existing subscribers. I see some new faces out there, and thanks for joining me. I consider this kind of like a fireside chat, without the fire in the fireplace. That's over there. So, gosh, it was really nice. I made this random video outside today, and my hair was blowing. It was really nice. I was just talking about all kind of crazy stuff. But I thought, well, you know what? These people really probably need to hear a message. Maybe I should make a real message instead of just rambling on about stuff. So, today I wanted to talk about the topic of overcoming objections. And, in our work, sometimes if you're in sales or you're in any type of business, we have to overcome objections. And in our lives, we have to overcome objections. And like, for instance, when we go to buy a major appliance, let's say a car, and we're haggling with the salesman, and, some of our objections might be, well, the price is too high. You got to start with that one, right? The color is no good. The interior, I really don't like cloth seats. It doesn't have a seat heater, and doesn't have the right kind of CD changer or MD player, whatever. So those kind of things come up, right? And then they haggle about the price and all those things. You get all the details down. And finally, they wrap it all up in a nice little package and say, sign here, oh, it's just what you want. And you've now convinced yourself, maybe, that this is just what you want. And so hopefully you take that home and you drive it home and you're all excited and, you did get what you wanted and you got the right color and the seats are heating up nicely and everything is just moving along great. So, and then you're happy for at least the first year. Okay, now, relate that to your own life. Overcoming objections in our own life, the objections I'm speaking of are here in our own mind. And for everything about our journey that we go through, we have mental objections, and we battle with ourselves day in and day out sometimes. And sometimes it becomes more of a routine after we get used to things for a while, and it becomes a habit. But I'm talking about the beginning stages, or when we're trying to change a habit that we have that isn't a good one for us, or we're trying to stop from overeating, for compulsive overeaters, and or if we're trying not to consume the wrong things on our journey. If we're supposed to follow a certain track and yet sometimes we're over here, instead of over here. So these things, like the exercise, for instance. How many times do we come up with things in our mind to stop ourselves from continuing to do the things that we need to do or even beginning to do the things that we need to do? Well, it's too hot. Oh, it's too cold. Oh, I'm too tired. Gosh, there's no time for that. I have absolutely no time. My kids are in the way. The kids, don't go to sleep until 6 o'clock, or whatever. They have homework. I need to help them. All these things can be and are legitimate reasons sometimes. But on the other hand, they can also be used as objections or excuses. And I'm not trying to put any one thing into any one category or equate this to anyone's life in particular. It's just fictitious. So starting there. But we all do, and we all need to acknowledge that we have these things going on in our lives. And the reason I speak slow sometimes when I talk, it's because I am thinking of what I'm going to be relating to and saying rather than having something memorized or that I'm actually reading from. So that said, the things coming to my mind about exercise, the objections, like I said, too hot, too cold, no time, on and on and on. Sometimes we have to overcome those objections, many times, to get started, number one, and to keep going, number two. Like if you're in a situation like me, sometimes, right, you're in a stall or a time when the scale isn't moving and you're not happy about it, and things just haven't been going your way, right? Maybe some creep yelled at you at the office, or, just someone from the doctor's office made you mad, like me. We start we put walls up, and we like, I'm too mad to talk about that. I'm too mad to do this today because I'm just still fuming about it or whatever. Sometimes we just have to push through those things and overcome those objections in our own mind to move forward. And, having to do with the exercise is one thing, because we all know it's super important to get out there and start moving. We all have different activity levels, and we know what those are. We know where our starting point is or was. We know where we are now in relationship to that, whether we're still at the beginning, making little baby steps toward building endurance and building stamina and seeing which things fit our needs as far as what we like to do or what we don't really like to do. I mean, I know I heard Dana make the video about she hated to sweat. Honey, I'm right there with you. I used to hate sweat. And now I go to kickboxing and sweat pours off of me, like dripping off onto the floor. Which, that's a gross thought, but it is what it is, and, I've overcome it. So sometimes we just have to take that step to make those transitions, to take ourselves forward, to take something that we don't like and turn it around and try to make it so that's something that we can start to like and build on it and, take that step forward one step at a time. So the objections in our mind, they're always going to be there for that. And with the food, how bad do I really want it? I always say that. We can eat a little bit, or we can leave the rest for someone else to eat it. I really mean that. But sometimes, we are really having to do mental battle with ourselves. We're upset about something. We're angry. We're depressed. And, sometimes we turn to food, and we have in the past, and that's how we ended up getting to where we are or were in our journey. So all these things, whether it be emotional eating, overeating, just liking something too much, too many chips, or, too many cupcakes, piece of cake, too many waffles with chocolate chips, too many chocolate croissants. I could go on and on. Too much cookie dough in my case. Those things are totally obstacles, and we have to continuously, monitor ourselves that we can't bring those things into the home that are going to be big obstacles for us. And if we have to, then we need to find ways to keep them away from ourselves. And we also have to get a grip on the mental monsters up here, saying, this is what I want, but this is what I'm going to choose to do because I'm developing a new habit. So all the things about overcoming the objections, we can think of 1,000 objections why we shouldn't stay on track, why we shouldn't stay on plan. Something upset us, something is gnawing at us. We can't get can't wrap our minds around it. Something bad happened in a relationship or friendship. Someone's angry at us, or someone took offense to something that we said, or someone's jealous, or whatever those things might be. Those things, a lot of those things are things beyond our control. Number one, we have to realize. But the things relating to our own emotions, need to be within our own control. And we have to work on them. We have to overcome those mental objections in order for us to take control of food, for sure, and of our own bodies, training them, making them healthier day by day, taking control of all those components in the mind that bring these things to the forefront, every day when those decisions have to be made. Am I going to come home from work after I'm dead tired? Am I going to put on those clothes and grab something quick to snack on and run right out the door to the gym? Or am I going to make another objection and say that I would really rather, be with Billy, or, would I really rather, go see a friend and have a drink? All those things have to come into play, regardless of what they might be for your life. So I think that if we try to focus on at least making that comparison between, buying the car and that negotiation process, or the appliance, or whatever it is that we might want to buy, or that we were thinking about buying, and the mental process of taking control of that situation. Because really, when it comes down to it, that food is really no different than anything else. Except that we have to consume it. That's true. We can't just put it down. But we can learn to negotiate with ourselves better. And we need to be able to negotiate with ourselves better, more on a regular basis. And we need to be able to learn to come out ahead. This is really key. So keep pushing, guys. never give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Negotiate with yourself. You know, if it's just taking it a little step this way forward and you can't give it the whole full step, then do that first. And just take a little half step or a full step. And then as you become more able, you're going to be able to come more in touch with how it is that you're going to be able to make these steps for yourself so that you'll make fewer excuses. You know, you may be able to admit freely that you are a this or you are a that as far as what category we might want to put ourselves in at different times of our lives, and that's fine. And it's fine that we've been in any of those categories or are still in them. But the thing is, we also have to make the mental decision that regardless of what category we put ourselves in, overeater, binge eater, you know, non-eater, whatever it is, we have to also take ownership of that and say, well, okay, this is what I'm going to choose to start doing about it. And I'm going to start here, and here's my plan. And, you know, I know all the best made plans of mice and men, as they say, you know, can go to the wayside. That's true. They can. But I mean, but what is it that we really want? And remember to ask yourself this every single time that you think about changing or pushing something off that you need to do, including drinking the water. Talk to myself. You know, do I really want this? Am I really willing to continue on like this and not make progress? Because I'm so hard-headed that I refuse to X, Y, or Z, right? I mean, come on. We all know, we have to love ourselves enough, and it starts there. And it just starts with taking ownership and overcoming the objections in the mind. So with that, I'm going to leave you tonight. I might post that other crazy video I made, and if you're not interested in random thoughts, don't watch it. But if you're crazy like me, you might enjoy it. So have a great night, and I hope everyone will think about what I had to say and let me know your thoughts. Thanks. Talk to you soon.